Welcome back to the JodoCast. It's Joe. Today I'm just gonna. Ever since we started the JodoCast, collecting Star Wars tabletop games has kind of become the focus of my Star Wars collection. So I'm just gonna show you guys all the weird games I've collected and my whole Star Wars collection. Behind my Doomtown stuff, this is all my old X-Wing 1.0 stuff that I have not yet had the heart to get rid of. This whole shelf is Imperial Assault stuff. This is all the Imperial Assault rule books in this binder. Some of the big tiles. This whole big binder, this is all the Imperial Assault tiles that I've organized in CD folders. So if the rumors are true and there is more Imperial Assault coming, it's going to screw up my whole organization because this literally cannot fit a single more tile in it. Moving up, we've got Loop and Chewie, the best game of all time. If you don't have this game in your Star Wars collection, you're not a real Star Wars gamer. I said it. This game I haven't played yet. Picked this up used. Pictopia, the ultimate picture trivia family game. It looks like it's probably pretty easy. Oh, there's like things missing in this picture. Haven't actually looked into this one. We'll see if it's actually fun and goofy or just too easy. This one's still in the shrink wrap. This one is simply just called Star Wars Trivia Game, which it at least has some neat components, but I'm assuming it's probably aimed towards kids, so the questions are probably pretty easy. I've got an unopened T-47 airspeeder for Legion, just sitting waiting to be painted. Not something that my army desperately needs right now, so it's pretty low in the priority list. This is the Escape Death Star game. We've played this on the channel before. This is the Target reprint, but the game originally came out in 1977. This one, not super fun, but it's fun to have because it's kind of like a historical thing. Speaking of history, this bad boy, the Star Wars interactive video board game, comes with a VHS. This game is, got our VHS here, something rattling inside of it. Got a lot of fun components. This game, like this thing, I think would make good Legion terrain if you painted it up. Like, it's got some, there's a lot going on here. We have recorded a video of this. It's not been edited yet. I don't know if it's going to be out before or after you've seen this video, or if it'll come out at all, because this game has a lot of Star Wars music in it, which might have a copyright problem. But what's fascinating about this is it has original James Earl Jones dialogue recorded for this game as Darth Vader. This side, we've got the Jar Jar Binks 3D adventure game, which is just great. It's basically, the object of the game is you're trying to be Jar Jar's sidekick. Let's see. How does it open? It's like a pop-up game. There's all this 3D pop-up stuff. Looks like it's falling apart since I last played it. That game's pretty wild. I saw it and knew that one I had to have. An old Star Wars Saga Edition chess set. Here's a whole bunch of weird little games. This one is called Face Off. Got a little dice jar with Luke and his papa. And does this even open? I haven't touched this in a while. Bunch of weird little screen printed dice. It's just some kind of push your luck dice game. I've got two unopened starters of the Young Jedi collectible card game. That were 99 cents each when I bought them. Never actually played this game. They're still unopened. It's just a regular deck of playing cards. Star Wars Rebels playing cards. Boba Fett playing cards. Topps Force Attacks trading card game. I think this game was only in Europe. I picked this up at Celebration London. I don't know how the game plays, but there's just all these... Some of these cards are in German. It's like trading cards, but their characters have stats, and I don't know how it plays, but it was a Star Wars game that was cheap, so I bought it because collecting. This might be the dumbest Star Wars game in my collection. I don't know if these are available in America or not. If they are, don't buy it anyways. Unless you have really little kids, then maybe it's fun. This is called Top Trumps, which is I don't know what company makes it. I don't think it's actually Tops. I think this Star Wars Rebels version was exclusive to Star Wars Celebration 2016 in London. All it is a deck of cards of just different stuff, and they have stats. And the whole point of the game is basically like war. You pick a stat. Ooh, let's look at speed. Zeb has speed 9. The ATDP has speed 11. It's apparently faster than Zeb. The ATDP wins. It's the whole game. It's stupid. And the stats aren't even great. I know in the original trilogy deck, the Wampa has a higher intelligence rating than Admiral Akbar. It's a dumb game. This game I picked up a couple weeks back. Star Wars Return of the Jedi Play for Power card game. It's an old game from 1983, I think. Yep, 1983. Some fun cards with some interesting artwork here of different stuff in Jabba's palace. And there's actually like 5 different card games in this game. Different variations on things like, I don't know, I'm reading the rules. Some of them actually sounded pretty fascinating, like twists on like hearts meets rock, paper, scissors, and spades, and different things like that. And like, I haven't had a chance to try this one yet, but it sounded actually kind of promising for an old game. This is Star Wars Timeline. This one is not available in the United States. It's also not hard if you've watched the Star Wars movies a couple times. If you're familiar with how Timeline works, you just have events and the game is putting them in order. All of these cards have events from the original trilogy. And so essentially you're like, did Darth Vader take his last breaths before or after Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader talked on Endor? It's pretty simple. Regular Timeline is a blast, though, where it's like, was the fork invented before the saxophone? That's interesting. Star Wars Timeline, not interesting. Star Wars Empire vs. Rebellion, a small little game for Fantasy Flight. Maybe it's a fun little 2-player game. Back in the day when it came out and played it, we didn't really like it. It's a bit boring, and there's better 2-player games you can find probably for the same price. Another little dice game. I think this one's just push your luck. It's just cool dice. It's got little Star Wars characters printed on the dice. I think I found that at Walmart. Oh, another deck of playing cards. This deck, the ladies of Star Wars playing card deck. The cover implies it's like a sexy deck of cards, which of course it is because it has Jocasta Nu and Griada. This is a great collectible. A lot of Padmes in here. Ooh, Tanwi. See, this is a good example of how far Star Wars has come since this deck was made in, let's see, a year on it. Because a while back we got products like the Ladies of Star Wars, and nowadays we get things like a nice illustrated book written by women called The Women of Star Wars. This big bucket is full of what was this game called? Force Connections, I think. All these like tokens. This came out in 2015, and I think it was discontinued. I never saw any official word from Topps that they stopped making it. It's all these cool little plastic hexes with characters on them, and kind of a trivia game. And you see, there's even Rebels Ahsoka. They made it. There's a lot of obscure characters in here too, like Reese. He's not super obscure. There's obscure than that, but it's really cool. Hard plastic hexes with characters, and there's a game where you're like connecting them, and there's a variant where you can have. Ooh, this one's still unopened in the little plastic. It's a sparkly, rare-looking R2 with its jets. Well, it's a fun game. I think it was actually pretty decent. It was fun to collect, and there was an element of storytelling. Like when you put the characters together, you get more points if you can explain how they're related to each other. So that's the cube full of obscure small games. Going up here is another copy of Loop and Chewy, because like I said, it's the best game of all time. And you should own at least 2 copies of it, or you're not a real Star Wars gamer. Star Wars Clue. Oh, there's some stuff. Star Wars Clue. It's just Clue, but you're on the Death Star trying to be the first. I love all these games that are not cooperative, but the game describes your goal as being cooperative. This one, you're trying to be the first one to figure out what planet Darth Vader's trying to destroy, and find out which planet Darth Vader will target next, find the Death Star plans, and steal the correct vehicle to escape. Like that, those sound like goals that all the rebels should be working for together, but you're not. You're like, no, I'm going to be the first one to do it. That's Star Wars Clue. What are these things? This is some organized play binders for Imperial Assault. Anybody want these? Some Imperial Assault posters? I must have a lot of these. Star Wars the card game posters. More posters. Another Imperial Assault poster. Maybe I should give away these posters because they're obviously just sitting in a folder not doing anything. X-Wing poster. Let's see if I can do something with these posters. There's more in here from different games too. Here we've got Star Wars Risk, which is actually a very good game, I think, especially if you look up some house rules and things that aren't in the rule book. Star Wars Risk is good. We've done a video on Star Wars Risk. Star Wars Trivial Pursuit Black Series Edition. We've done a video of this as well. This game is kind of fun. It depends on the skill level of the people you're playing with. It can turn into the first one to mess up is going to lose because most of the questions are easy. Epic Duels. Super great game. Love this game. We've got 2 videos up of playing this game. Hope to make more because this game is just really, really fun. Star Wars Stratego. I don't know if I've actually played this. It's just Stratego, but with like some Star Wars characters and Star Wars rules twists. Over here, we've got Han Solo card game, which is just Sabacc, but called Han Solo card game. There's a video of us playing that one. This game I really like. There's some Destiny things. Clash of the Lightsabers. This game is really good, and I think it's a hidden gem. It's just Qui-Gon and Darth Maul dueling, and I wish it would get like a reboot with more characters and more decks. There is a video of us playing that. Star Wars Family Feud. Really fun, really weird, really goofy. There should be an episode of our podcast out soon where we play this. Star Wars Head Hints. Haven't played this yet, but it's kind of just you have a character on your head and you're trying to ask questions to figure out who you are. I'm concerned that the things that you're supposed to wear on your head won't actually fit my head because I have a huge head. Yahtzee duels with Rey and Kylo Ren. It's like Yahtzee, but you're like chipping away at these things. Star Wars Carcassonne Edition. There's an expansion for this. I don't own it. This game's pretty fun. If you like Carcassonne, you'd probably like this. There's a video of us playing this. If you want to check that out. This game is not available in North America because Hasbro's the worst. Star Wars Force Grab. This game is fun and would make a good drinking game, I think. It's just object recognition and trying to grab things really fast. Star Wars Rebel Missions. This is a little kid game with a little electronic timer and you're playing cards. And I don't remember how it goes. I think I had initially bought it because it had some custom dice. And I'm a sucker for custom dice. Here's my Game Master stuff for Edge of the Empire. Star Wars Rebellion. Expensive game. Very, very good 2-player game. Hope we can make a gameplay video of that sometime as long. It's like a 4-hour game. Really good. Imperial Assault, still probably my favorite game of all time. Some of my things are in there. This is where all of my Imperial Assault miniatures live, as they've been neglected recently because of Legion. They're all in here. My very limited Edge of the Empire collection. This game is another game still in the shrink wrap that I haven't played yet. Battle for Naboo 3D action game. It's got some miniatures and like a catapult where you throw a booba, whatever they're called. A booba. Outer Rim, of course. This is one of my all-time favorite games these days too. Buy it. I just got this game the other day. I haven't played it yet. Jedi Unleashed, which is like a recreation of the Jedi arena battle in Geonosis. Looking forward to trying that one out. This one's like super used, so hopefully it's not missing any parts. We've got Star Wars, that card game. This is probably the heaviest box on the shelf because it's full of wood and cards and stuff. This game I enjoyed, but I don't know if it would even make my top 10 game list. Star Wars Operation with BB-8. Looks like you're just trying to pull stuff out. It says Operation, but with BB-8. This is all my Destiny junk. I stopped playing Destiny maybe 4 months into the game. I'm not going to pull all the stuff. Destiny here. Playmats. This is important. These are all my RPG dice. And these are all the cards that make clumsy and random work. Our improv RPG show. This box contains all that magic. This box is very precious to me. Here's a dice tower that's also Legion terrain that I don't actually use much. There's a Boba Fett head full of various tokens from Imperial Assault and the role-playing game starter games. Just in case I need a token that looks like a Rancor, I guess. Or a Millennium Falcon token, or whatever. Here's a bucket full of large Star Wars miniatures game minis. Like the speeder and the guy riding a slug. These boxes have the rest of my Wizards of the Coast Star Wars minis. Maybe one day I'll get it back on the table. There's 2 boxes of those guys. We've got Dejark Holochess, is the one from Galaxy's Edge. A friend picked it up for me. There's a full how to play video and a review of this on our channel as well. Of course, we've got Legion. These are my boxes of Legion. They're magnetized in there with all my minis. This is the list I was going to bring to Worlds, and Worlds has happened. This is how I store my Legion guys for tournament. Put them in my little lunchbox, and they're magnetized so they stay in there. What else we got? We got more real Sabacc. Not the Han Solo card game. This is the Galaxy's Edge Sabacc with dice. These dice don't come with it. Different dice come with it. There's whatever this one was called. There's a video of us playing this. It's just Don't Break the Ice, but with the Falcon, knocking that stuff out. I think would make another good drinking game. This AT-AT is from the Wizards of the Coast Miniatures game. This is Tron. All my X-Wing stuff is in a big... This is where all my X-Wing stuff is, even though I only bought the Rebels for 2nd edition. All my ships from 1st edition are still in here. It's been kind of untouched for a while. And I think that is all of my Star Wars board game collection. So hopefully that was fun. I think there's a lot of weird games in here, and there's a lot of these that I haven't played yet that I want to get on the table soon. So thanks for watching, and make sure you buy Loop and Chewy a couple times.